Imagine spending 8 years saving every extra dollar you earned, skipping vacations, driving an old car, working weekends. Then, one morning, you check your bank account, and every single dollar is gone. That's exactly what happened to me. But the person who stole it wasn't a hacker. It wasn't a scammer. It was my own brother. And what happened next changed our family forever. Hey everyone, welcome back to Karma Stories. Today's story is about betrayal, family, and a revenge plan that no one saw coming. Let's get into it. I'm 29 years old. For nearly 8 years, I worked overtime as an electrician. Every extra paycheck went into one account. I had one dream: buying my first home. By last spring, I'd saved just over $68,000. I was proud of it. Only 3 people knew: my parents and my older brother, Ethan. Ethan had always been charming. The kind of guy who could convince anyone of anything. He jumped from business idea to business idea. Crypto, dropshipping, real estate. Nothing ever lasted. He always blamed someone else when things failed. Still, he was family. So I trusted him. That was my biggest mistake. One Monday morning, I logged into my bank account before work. Checking my balance had become a habit. Instead of seeing $68,000, Ibay Ishar Dan Sisen. I refreshed the page. Again and again. Nothing changed. I called the bank immediately. The representative sounded confused. "Sir, the transfer was authorized." "Authorized? What transfer?" She explained that someone with legal account access had moved nearly everything 2 days earlier. I couldn't breathe. Who had access? She gave me one name: Ethan. I drove straight to my parents' house. My dad looked nervous before I even spoke. Finally, he admitted Ethan had asked him to sign some paperwork. He said it was for a temporary emergency loan. Dad thought he was helping both of us instead. He unknowingly gave Ethan access to my account. I wasn't angry at my father. He'd been manipulated. Ethan knew exactly which buttons to push. I called Ethan immediately. He answered on the second ring. "Oh, you noticed?" "Noticed? You stole my savings." "No, I borrowed it." "Borrowed?" Without asking. He actually laughed. "I'll pay you back after my business takes off." My hands were shaking. "When?" "Relax. It's family. We help each other." Then he hung up. I barely slept for days. Friends told me to call the police immediately. My parents begged me not to. "He's your brother." Those 4 words haunted me. Because, apparently, being my brother meant he could steal everything I'd worked for. And everyone expected me to forgive him. So, I stopped arguing. I stopped calling. I stopped texting. Everyone assumed I'd given up. That was exactly what I wanted them to think. Instead of fighting, I started collecting evidence. Bank statements, transfer records, emails, security footage from the bank, phone logs, even public social media posts. That's when I noticed something interesting. Ethan wasn't hiding the money. He was showing it off. Brand new truck, luxury watches, weekend trips, expensive restaurants. Every post made my case stronger. He even captioned one photo: "Hard work always pays off." I stared at the screen and smiled, because I knew something he didn't. Hard evidence always pays off too. A month later, my parents announced a huge family reunion. Everyone would be there, including Ethan. And that's when I realized the perfect opportunity had finally arrived. The reunion was held at my aunt's house on a warm Saturday afternoon. Almost 30 family members showed up. Kids were running around the backyard. The grill was going. Everyone was laughing. And right in the middle of it all was Ethan. He arrived in a brand new pickup truck, designer sunglasses, an expensive watch. He was telling everyone how well his business was doing. "You just have to take risks," he said confidently. A few relatives even congratulated him. I stayed quiet. I smiled. I shook his hand. He looked relieved. He thought I'd moved on. He couldn't have been more wrong. A few weeks earlier, my cousin had asked me to help set up a slideshow for the reunion. Family photos, vacation memories, old birthday pictures. Everyone knew I was good with computers, so no one questioned it. My laptop was already connected to the TV in the living room. The slideshow played throughout the afternoon. Then, just before dessert, I picked up the remote. I actually found a few more photos I'd like everyone to see. No one thought twice. Except Ethan. His smile disappeared. The screen went black. Then the first image appeared. A bank statement. My savings account. Balance. Luwan batin laun by Iser sis Mayran. The room fell silent. The next slide showed the transfer. Every dollar moved into an account linked to Ethan. Then came screenshots of text messages. One read, "Don't tell him yet. He'll overreact." Another, "Once my business takes off, I'll pay him back." Another, "Dad signed everything." You could hear a pin drop. No one spoke. Everyone just stared at the screen. Then I played a recording. It was our phone call. His voice echoed through the room. I borrowed it. "It's family. We help each other." His own words. No editing. No tricks. Just the truth. My aunt slowly turned toward Ethan. "You stole from your own brother." He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. My uncle stood up. "You lied to all of us." My grandmother started crying. Even my father looked heartbroken. "I trusted you," he whispered. Then came the moment Ethan never expected. His fiancée quietly stood up. She looked at him, then looked at me. "Is this real?" I nodded. She walked over to Ethan, removed her engagement ring, placed it in his hand. "I can't marry someone I can't trust." Then she walked out. The front door closed. The entire house stayed silent. Ethan finally tried to defend himself. I was going to pay him back. No one believed him anymore. Not after seeing everything. Not after hearing the recordings. My uncle looked him straight in the eyes. "You didn't borrow it. You stole it." For the first time in his life, Ethan had no one left to manipulate. The following Monday, I filed a police report. Since I'd already collected every document, every recording, and every bank record, the investigation moved quickly. A few weeks later, Ethan agreed to a legal settlement. He sold the truck, the watches, the expensive electronics, even the investment property he'd recently purchased. Every dollar went toward repaying what he'd stolen. It took months, but eventually, Every cent was returned. Money wasn't what hurt the most. It was realizing how easily someone I loved had betrayed me. For a long time, I blamed myself for trusting him. But my therapist told me something I'll never forget. Trust isn't weakness. Breaking trust is. That changed everything. Today, I finally own my first home. It's not the biggest house. It's not the fanciest. But every time I unlock the front door, I remember that I earned it honestly. As for Ethan, we haven't spoken in over 2 years. Some people think I should forgive him. Maybe someday I will. But forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is walk away. So now I want to ask you, if your own sibling stole your life savings, would you have exposed them in front of the whole family, or would you have handled it differently? Let me know in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe to Karma Stories, and comment below, telling me what you would have done in this situation. Your support really helps the channel grow.